I don't think it'll allow me. Wait, yeah, I could not access the specifiers because I got to do a new stream. There we go. Hi, everybody. I don't know why my system died, but it just did. It just felt like it. Just went, screw it. Then it wanted to let the open this. Where's the? I gotta. There it is. The Hispanic voters. Make sure the audio works on this thing again. I have to find my place and don't know why. Nope. Okay. So I have to grab that. Copy. Think. And open up Chrome. There we go. Open this page. Put it in here. Sorry, everybody. Paste and go.
The other
go
day
back to here.
Do a charging station, Max.
Okay, there we go. We're back. And I made it happen, and I thank you. And I thank you, chat room, for being patient. I appreciate it. I'm back up, and we will continue where we left off. Now, I think I also have to, beg your pardon, I have to start my Insta again. 1 second. My video. There we go. Audience public. I'll bring that back in. Always takes me a second to bring it back in. If you don't mind, throw this in here. There you go. Paste. Excellent. Now I open up my thingamadodger and go in here to the, there we go. Grab this, copy. Then we go over to here. And this is so exciting, I know. You know, it's part of the greatest live stream that's ever happened. You get to see the behind the scenes part of it because I do it myself. And 3, 2, 1, bink. That'll be back up. And then we go over to Insta. As soon as it's rolling, then I hit kapow, and we're back. Yay! Okay. Hi, Instagram. We're welcome. I want to welcome you back. You know what? Fuck it. I will. Welcome back. There we go. Everything's running. Yes. 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 Good. All right. Excellent. Now. What happened? Just crash. Literally my screen went blue and did that weird thing where if you have a PC, it just has a blue screen and it has a frowny face and it says your whole shit crashed. We're just gathering some data until the kidney comes back. And
the kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Oh, thank God. All right. Well, lucky us. Hit the like. We'll need new likes because we're starting from scratch. Ladies and germs, here we go. You look marvelous.
Gasoline stuff. And
all right. Oh, by the way, he's just talking about his bullshit. And then at one point, we speed through this. He just rambles.
They say, we don't care. We want you to do it. And these truckers are beside themselves. They're going to be...
Okay, this is also like electric. Okay. Come here. Come here, buddy. Scoot in. Trump thinks that that truckers drive from New York to Los Angeles in a diesel truck without stopping. Now, I don't know why they have these apartments on the back of them if you never stop more than however long it would take to fill up your tank with gas. I, for one, and for the record, do not want truckers to drive all the way across the country without at least taking a nap. And during that time, they could charge their trucks back up.
Forced to do electric trucks. They're not going to work. Maybe someday in the future, I don't know, maybe someday, but it's possible it'll never work because it's so crazy.
Yes, it's possible that we will never be able to have electric vehicles. Ever. Fucking ever. All right, now, he goes through this whole thing, and then he talks out of his ass some more, and...
But I don't care, because this is a much higher calling. I heard that...
Oh, this is the whole, like, I have an easy life, and I could be golfing somewhere.
Continue to fly big, beautiful Boeing jets right over the border with hundreds of...
Oh, yeah, they're flying migrants in, and da-da-da.
...standpoint of where he was born. He grew up in a system, and I've seen him speak very beautifully on this subject of what's happening to our country. Max?
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for being here.
Oh, okay. So this guy's a massive asshole too. This guy right here. He's got gray Trump hair. This is like that weird, like he's got like Benny Hinn style
You
hair.
asked me to talk. I took everybody else's time, and you told me to shut up. So I'm going to make it very brief. Yeah. Okay. I just want to start by saying, drill, baby, drill, because that is your motto.
Also, fucking ridiculous.
I am extremely confident, without a doubt, that the first day that we elect Mr. Donald J. Trump, our next president, the first day in office, I guarantee you he'll solve half of the problems that we have.
Half of the problems, first day, done. And apparently, half of this guy's problem is all the other people, the poor people coming from his country that are giving him a run for his money. Literally. All the other, like, Venezuelans who are coming into the country, fuck them. I don't want to have to compete with them for the slice of pie I've carved out for myself. And send them back.
The most important,
Sure.
most important, on November 5th, the election is not about you and us. It's about freedom and oppression. And this is the only man that I know
That was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for over 2 decades and just couldn't seem to notice that he had a bunch of 14-year-olds running around. Like, he even introduced one of them to Trump, and that young girl, underage, stayed at his home for a time, no relation whatsoever. And the next year she was in Trump's Miss Teen USA, and somehow this motherfucker could not see that, like, it's right in fucking. So this is, let me tell you, this is the man I trust with my country that I love very much.
I can handle that. This is the only man.
The only man who would hear that Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested and say, I wish her well. Like, who the fuck does that? Who in the ever-loving butthole of Satan would pop their fucking head out of Satan's asshole and say they wish Ghislaine Maxwell well? Who would do this? Only this man. Only this man would have the freedom from focused thinking and the liberty to say whatever the fuck he wants and never see any repercussions from it. Only him. Only this man could always, for some reason, always buy a house less than a 9-minute cab ride from Jeffrey Epstein's house. Who the fuck?
That has survived, for the grace of God, things that we can never imagine.
I think you can imagine them if you've come from a South American country, because oftentimes they're far more successful than a piece of glass nicking your ear. As a matter of fact, don't trust me, trust the firefighter. Oh, wait.
He gets up and he says, fight, fight, fight. I happen to be honored today.
Yeah, so they I mean, it's basically, it's maggot town. It's just, you know, maggot town with an accent, but there's no difference. And they give him a round of applause, and then this guy keeps talking. And then after that, they go to this other guy. This is the guy who did Sound of Freedom. He's totally full of shit. And this story's a lie, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then he has the other guy, he's the producer of it. And then the other guy who's the producer of it, who's over on the other side of him, they basically got him surrounded. Trump talks about how nobody gave a shit about human trafficking until then, and this lady's freaked out. But this is the other dude who.
We love you. And there's a big day coming up, November 5th. It's existential for this country.
Yeah.
And there's a day about 30 days later.
Oh, so the other thing too is Trump's like, yeah, okay, great, existential, sure, whatever, yep. This guy keeps talking, and at one point, it seems like a rope-a-dope. It seems like he means stuff as a compliment, but then everything he's saying is actually an insult.
20 some days later, which is Thanksgiving. And I'm looking for the day where we can sit around the table and thank God that President Trump is the 47th President of the United States. They're going to bring this country.
They just round of applause. They did this.
I was, there's a famous Cuban poet, Jose Marti, and he said There are those who are born to love and build, and others to hate and destroy.
And what about those who are born to label and bullshit? Like they just throw their name on something. They didn't build it. They just kind of...
You're a builder. You're
no, he was, because his dad's business did that. He stopped building a long time
a
ago.
uniter. You're courageous. You love, and you create. Years ago,
But
Elian Gonzalez, his mother, Elizabeth, brought him to these shores at 6 years old. And, you know, for our
yeah, you're going to bring up Elian Gonzalez? You're going to bring up that story?
opportunity, for the land of opportunity, we've become...
By the way, for the record, Elian Gonzalez and his mother would be kicked out of the country on fucking day one under Trump. Let's not kid ourselves. It's so weird.
land of exploitation. They took him out. The family had fought to keep him in this country under pressure from Castro. They took him out.
By the way, Trump would kick him out immediately. What are you talking about?
DOJ took him out. Janet Reno. You know, Mr. President, DOJ has not gotten much better since then. Even under
Oh, wait. You think that's bad?
some Republican presidents. But, you know, to me, the three-letter agencies is the fourth branch of government. This warfare that's gone against you, and that's one of the ones that are taking this country away. But
He means the CIA and the FBI and Ohio is like rolling in and scooping up fucking Hispanics in the middle of the country. Does this asshole actually think that Cubans and Hispanics of any sort, South Americans who are in fucking Florida, are going to be exempt? For fuck's sake, do they really think this? Because I mean, he'd have to be. This motherfucker has to be operating under that delusion.
they expected that Miami would burn, like other protests around the country by other...
Oh, right. That when Elian Gonzalez was removed, I don't know who the fuck they are, expected Miami would burn. That the Cuban Americans would burn down Miami in protest of this, right?
other groups. But nothing happened, and why is that?
Why is that? Wait for it. Wait for it. Why? Why? Why is that? Why did it not happen?
Because the Cuban community, the Colombian community, the Venezuelan community have built Miami, and they built this country.
I don't know if Trump can lose Nick Fuentes again, but does anybody think that Jesse Waters, Greg Kelly, Stephen Miller, Jason Miller, Trump himself thinks that the Cuban, Colombian, and Venezuelan community built Miami, much less America? Like, fuck me. Broken chat, no reply. I can see it, Mary. I can see a reply. YouTube is glitching. Obviously, they're attacking me. By the way, people attack the greatest live stream ever because that's how shit works. They just know my shit is banging and they come and try to shut me down. And so thank you for sticking with me and hitting that like again. And so looking at this thing. There's this thing. Extremely glitchy audio. Lost you, okay? Am I back up? Is everything smooth? Or is it just loud? Is that the issue? Because I tried to turn the audio up. Yeah, refresh your page. That might be it.
We're the working class. And when you build...
Also, look at Trump. Look at Trump after he fucking said that. Do you think Trump believes that at all? I'm dead serious. For real, like, that is fucking bananas. That this guy would say that to Trump and actually think Trump would agree with the idea that Colombians, Cubans, and Venezuelans built Miami together. and that they built this country.
When you build, you don't destroy. That's right. The other side of, loving and building and creating is hating and destroying and dividing. And that's what's happened. We have become from the land of opportunity to the land of exploitation. And the exploiter in chief is Kamala Harris and this administration. Yes.
Also, this guy calls her Kamala Harris. And I don't know if it's just his weird pronunciation of it or it's meant to be a dig. He says Kamala all the time.
And I don't say that I say that as a Latino who's fed up. Basta ya con el abuso. Where enough abuse and enough exploitation. To talk about, because I was involved with Eduardo on The Sound of Freedom as executive producer, and
I'm sorry, what's The Sound of Freedom? I'm not familiar with it. I know Trump mentioned a movie earlier called Freedom, but Sound of Freedom, I don't know of that movie. I'm sure it's fabulous and not full of shit.
Stole it out of Disney, who had no faith in it. They were going to, in Gabatarlo, they were going to put it away. But Angels lifted it up, and it became an incredible thing, and it lit a fire to the awareness of child trafficking. Now, last year, and I know this because we were involved in anti-trafficking. On April 26, 2023, Tara Lee Rodas testified before Congress that the U.S. is the middleman in this.
Oh, this is the other thing. The U.S. is the middleman for human trafficking. Well, then my argument was, where are they going? So the idea is that they cross the border into the United States, and then somebody in the United States is selling them out of the country to somebody else. That there's not a big market for these people here, so they round them up and sell them. Where are they selling them to? Who's on the other end of that? Because I would argue that might be your focus. Kill demand, supply dries up.
It's trafficking. And I've been to Central America. Our kids are being bought for pennies on the dollar, and they're sold. We know where they are. None of these.
Where are they?
Sponsors that they're handed off to have been vetted. They know that they're being sold into slavery, into sex, into body parts, etc.
Into body parts, etc. Okay, real quick, motherfucker. Never mind that this is a giant lie and it's horseshit and this movie's bullshit and they lie their ass off. But the idea that people are, if you're gonna sell a slave, a sex slave or otherwise, or that you're going to farm organs from fucking people. The idea that you would have to or want to bring them into the United States to do it is fucking idiotic. Right? I mean, there are a myriad of areas in South America, I suppose, where you could do it. What do they need to bring them to Johns Hopkins so that they can get, the kidney out properly? What are you talking about? Like, it's just horse shit.
And so we are the middleman.
No, we're not. No, we're not. To who? What are we? Excuse me. Listen to what this motherfucker. And by the way, this is a gathering of Latinos for Trump. And this motherfucker is making the case that Donald Trump is uniquely suited as a buddy of Jeffrey Epstein's, who's bought and sold teenage girls for years and has his own island where he would sexually assault children. And Trump hired Acosta, the guy who gave Jeffrey Epstein a key to his fucking jail cell so he could let himself out. That guy, he's uniquely qualified to save these children who are being bought for pennies on the dollar in South America, bust, I guess, to the United States, where they are either sold, like, I don't know if that's wholesale and this is where the retail price is crafted, where they're sold for parts, like they're a fucking Buick, or they're sold into slavery or sex slavery to other countries that apparently this guy thinks are not a problem at all. This is so fucking, insane. I don't even, like, think about how fucking dumb and evil you would have to be to believe what this motherfucker is saying or to repeat it. We're the middleman.
We're profiting off of this.
No, we're not. What are you talking? Who's we, motherfucker?
And, you know, Mr. President.
No, nobody does know. You can't just say that and go, you know. Fucking back that shit up, you absolute asshole.
When you become president, we need to follow this money because it's dark money. You know, we're exploiting.
Dude, hey, asshole, you think he's interested in shutting down dark money? Are you out of your fucking mind? He wouldn't have a building in this goddamn country if it wasn't for dark money, you shithead.
Our children. But something happened after Tara Lee wrote us. This just last year testified there were 85,000 children missing.
No, they're not missing. There aren't 85,000 missing.
And Javier Becerra, who's head of HHS, and Alejandro Mayorkas, he went to his group and said, people, Henry Ford would be embarrassed by the lack of efficiency of bringing people in as commodities to be sold.
No, what the ever-loving fuck? Think again, look, there are ways to politically exploit what, you know, a difference in position about the asylum system or how people are allowed in or, you know, people offering a work visa system for migrant workers or any of that shit. And you can be against it and all that stuff. Notice these motherfuckers are never interested in arresting the people who illegally hire migrants who are undocumented. You know why? Because this motherfucker would have been in jail long before we ever saw him on The Apprentice. Donald Trump has been hiring undocumented workers at all of his properties his entire adult fucking life. So the idea that, everything this dude is saying is fucking bananas. But listen to what he just said. I'm going to play it again. Think about what it would take to have a conversation. Just like what a fucking monster you would have to be to chit-chat. Henry Ford would be embarrassed by how inefficient we are at trafficking people into the country for sale, for body parts, sex, and slavery. That's what he's saying.
Said, people, Henry Ford would be embarrassed by the lack of efficiency of bringing people in as commodities to be sold.
As commodities to be sold. Henry Ford would be... Yeah, you know why Henry Ford would be upset? Because Henry Ford had a picture of fucking Hitler behind his desk. He would want that shit like a well-oiled machine. Of course, oiled with adrenochrome.
We need to be more efficient. And guess what happened? The Inspector General of DHS, Department of Homeland Security, under Mayorkas, they did this investigation that this year, less than a year later, we're 325,000.
No, we're not. No, we are not. You can't take the 80,000 calls they made one year that went unanswered, and the same fucking calls the next year, and the same fucking calls the year after that because people turn 18 or they go back home or any of that stuff, and just stack them and assume that every phone call automatically means that every phone call that wasn't answered is a missing and exploited kid, period, end of story. That's horseshit. That's where they're getting the 80,000, or the 325,000. They're just stacking the 80,000 every year that they call to the same people who hang up the same way and go, well, we couldn't reach them.
Children missing. And like the President said, also millions of people trafficked and exploited. 70% are women, 25% are children. But we were so good. That's the only thing we've been good at. To tell you, this administration, the only thing they've been
Fuck you.
good at is growing the biggest industry in the world, which is human trafficking. Yeah.
No, Title 42 did that. You dumb motherfucker. Title 42, under Donald Trump, set up the conveyor belt of people entering the country, created more, crossings of the same fucking person over and over again. The biggest, stack of recidivist entry into the country because remain in Mexico and not processing anybody, just kick people right back out, and they'd come back across, and they'd come back across, because it would never mark on their record. Under Title 8, you get a mark on your record, and if you try twice, you go to fucking jail.
And drugs. That's the only thing that, and for exploitation, for power, for money. You know, if you go to watch Aladdin, it's a pretty cool.
You go and watch Aladdin.
Theater on play on Broadway. The genie says to Aladdin,
You mean the movie?
"Never drink from the cup of money or power, never be satisfied." But
You do realize who you're talking to, right?
this is, you know, Kamala Harris was
What is that Kamala Harris like? What is that? Is it K as in K? What is that? What they're doing?
looking for the root cause of trafficking and the border problem. The root cause, you know how she could find it? Look in the mirror.
No, not if you're saying we're the middleman. Again, this is just fucking stupid. But
If O.J. Simpson was alive, he'd still be looking for the killer of his wife. But,
he was a friend of Trump's.
you know, this is the root cause. The root cause is greed and power. And we have a president who loves us, cares for us. So to me, that gives me great.
Yeah, you mean Joe Biden? Hold on. Greed and power. Again, you do realize who's sitting 2 seats away from you, right?
Hope for the future of this country. That we have a
Jesus Christ. Hold on.
president, a courageous president
Good Lord. Hold on.
who has God's hand
My,
on him, who turned his
My
head at
headphones always
6:11
kick off
in the
sometimes like
afternoon on July
that. Give me 1 second.
13th.
Boink. Now, do I care if my system gets wonky some days? No, I don't. I just keep swinging. That's what makes this the greatest live stream in the history of live streams.
God's hand is on this man because he's
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it moved him out of the way so that the bullet would hit a fireman, because God hates firemen.
chosen to bring us back to greatness.
Thank you, Doug.
And without that standing ovation, which was as so ordered, Trump was losing interest in this shit. Now, I think this is where they bring out the dude who does like a prayer over him, because they end. Yeah, here it is. They bring this fucking dude over. This guy who's the preacher. Move the mic over there so everybody can hear my words to God, because if God doesn't hear this.
Thank you, sir. Let's all pray together. Heavenly Father, we humble ourselves before you, and we believe, Lord, that you are the answer for all the problems that we're facing.
Yeah. So if you're saying that to God, cool.
That we can put our hope in you through Jesus.
Yes, Lord.
And have hope again. Our faith can be built up again. That you can return to us the joy that is only from you. However, today, Lord, we lift up the man that we believe you've put your hand upon
And most of us have a hand on him right now.
to help restore America and bring America back to the place that honors you. To a place where we will not be kicked out for saying Christ the King.
Hi, nobody. All right, I don't step on people's prayers, even if I think they're assholes and they're full of shit. It's just a general thing. But let me tell you something. Nobody's being kicked out of the country for saying Christ is King. You fucking asshole. What are you talking about? And again, it's so fucking demented. It's so detached from reality. It's gross. I went a little bit over. I apologize that my Twitch is about 15 seconds ahead of YouTube feed. Yeah, there's something going on with my the stream today. I apologize. It's not on my end. It's not something I can actually remedy, and apologies for the dropout that I had. But that brings us to the end of that, and I don't think we need to cover any more of it. But I will say this. I covered this at the beginning of the live stream, and in case anybody missed that part, because they're coming in on the second version of it, there is no 325,000 missed kids. They have extrapolated the 80,000 missed phone calls in contacting people, and they've just added them up over the last couple of years, and then Trump has done his Trump math on it, just doubling the number. And taking like an out of context thing said by a Fox News host that they stole from a New York Times story and just mishearing it on purpose and then jacking it up to 325,000. It's just made up. It's fucking made up. And the idea that Trump gives a shit or Trump would track those people better is an absurdity. Because the man has no interest in any of these people staying. And the fact that they would bring up Elian Gonzalez. Oh, the Major's back. Tomorrow, the Major, Lev Parnas and Philip tomorrow? Holy smokes. I've got 3 guests tomorrow? That's amazing. So best that I sign off and make sure the entire setup is working. Yeah, so Lev Parnas, I thought he was on Friday. Wasn't he on Friday, Andrea? But either way... super cool. The Major's on and Philip tomorrow. Philip's in the States, which is interesting. Tons of stuff happening in Ukraine, of course, while he's here. And a lot of it, has to do with, and we'll, Andrea is typing. Is it the case? Yes. I'm waiting 1 second. We'll check this out in the staff chat. And it's actually happening because I have glitchy audio, so I'm basically do a real tomorrow. Yep, Lev and Philip are on together. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Cool, because both of them care a lot about Ukraine, and this will be great. So fantastic. Talking to them both at the same time will be a friggin' miracle. That's wonderful. Okay, so second hour, the 2 of them. Major will be there the first hour. I guess that's how it's going to go. Awesome. Going to be a big show tomorrow. So I have some graphics to make so I can have both of them on screen at the same time. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share the show, patreon.com/HALSparks. And then I will see if I've got to download some plugins to make stuff work again or something. Good Lord. You know what I need? I need more problems. Like, for example, love you guys. Okay, hit that like. Twitch people, give me some emojis on your way out the gate. Oh, yes. Yes, there it is. Now I got my... Sorry if I missed the credits on the first hour because they reset. So thank you guys so much.